Welcome back, dreamers. You tired of spreading fertiliser granules? Not getting even coverage? We got the solution for you. You need to see this. Let's get into it. So long we've had to buy granular fertilisers and then apply them at the supplier's application rate, trying to work out exactly how much per square metre or how much to use on my lawn. How big is my lawn actually? And then trying to weigh it out, and with what scales? Or hoping the 1 handful equals 50 grams recommendation is actually right? Whose hand? I know, I'll buy a handheld fertiliser spreader, and that'll make it so much easier until those little clumps get stuck in the outlet. Now, I'm not saying that granular fertilisers do not have a place in our lawn care routine, because they do. Their slow-release properties are invaluable to be applied a few times a year. But I am saying there's a better way to get your regular fertilisers onto your lawn, spread evenly, and at the NPK ratio that you want. And it's cheaper. It just sounds like a dream, right? Here is the answer. Install a fertiliser Venturi on your system and make your own fertiliser. Now, we covered making our own fertiliser in a previous video. We showed you how you can use our fertiliser calculator to create the NPK ratio that you want and how much is needed for your application. Shoot me a comment below if you want a copy of that. I'm more than happy to share with you guys. A fertiliser Venturi is a great way to get the fertiliser straight into the water that you're putting on your lawn or garden. A Venturi works by forcing the incoming water through a tight opening. On the other side of the opening, it tapers out to create a negative pressure. Utilising this negative pressure, there is a tube opening just after the restriction on the negative pressure side, which creates a vacuum. We connect the hose to this vacuum input, which runs into the bucket. You can purchase a Venturi reasonably cheaply on the internet. The one I'm using was around $20 to $30, and then we spent another about $80 on the fittings. On a standard household tap, the Venturi can be correctly sized to be placed in line. In this way, all the water will pass through the Venturi to create the vacuum, and a bypass is not needed. There will need to be a lower pressure on the other side of the Venturi, and using an open hose or adequate water outlets like sprinkler heads will create the pressure drop. On a larger system like mine, we cannot place the Venturi in line, as it will create too much of a restriction and not allow enough water flow to get to the sprinklers for them to operate correctly. In this instance, we install a bypass off the main line to divert the water through the Venturi. Though, to create a pressure drop on the other side of the Venturi, we need to install a gate valve on the main line to reduce the water flow to create the reduced pressure. Something to be aware of in these instances is it will reduce the water flow out to your sprinklers. So being mindful of this when the system is designed is going to be paramount. In my case, I had to cut my backyard into 2 sections with about 6 or 7 sprinklers on each side. If it was designed as one big system, the water loss would have been too great and the sprinklers would not have reached all of the lawn and we would have had dry spots. Once you've made your fertiliser using soluble powder or granules, or bought any of the varied fertilisers that are on the market today, the fertiliser is then dissolved in water, ready to be taken up by the Venturi. Once you start your water system using the bypass setup, the gate valve is slowly closed off until the pressure differential is reached and the Venturi starts sucking the fertiliser into the system. Now, the amount of fertiliser getting taken into the system can be regulated using the inline valve on the fertiliser line. Now, I run my system until the fertiliser has been exhausted, and then I let it go for about another minute to make sure that all the fertiliser that's in the main line has made it out to the lawn. I do this so there's an application of fertiliser to the roots, but also some left on the leaf for quick uptake by the lawn. If you're using a high nitrogen fertiliser, you'll get a nice green flush in the next couple of days. Mix your fertiliser in a bucket of water, turn on your system, job done. Literally sit back and watch your grass grow. And actually, fertiliser is not the only part of your lawn care routine, but utilising equipment to not only make it easier, but also to give you time back is definitely worth the investment. Now, I'm happy to share some details of my Venturi setup, so drop a comment if you'd like to see that. Hope you took something out of this video. It's always fun creating these videos behind the scenes, so make sure you stick around for these bloopers. And if you like this video, please make sure you subscribe and make sure you change the notification settings so you're getting all of the notifications. And we'll see you next time on Billabong Views. I then shut it off. Then onto the leaf. So there you have it. Mix your fertiliser in. So there you have it, folks. Mix your fertiliser in a bucket of water. Now I'm happy to share some details of my Venturi setup. So if you wanted something to be aware of, So once you've made your fertiliser using soluble fertiliser or granules, now you can purchase a Venturi reasonably cheap. Long as we had to buy granular fertilisers and then apply them at the mat. Long as we had to buy on a standard household hab,